On a chilly Sunday afternoon here at Clemson, it's the championship game of the Clemson Classic. The Ole Miss Rebels out of the SEC taking on the Clemson Tigers here at McWhorter Stadium. Hi, everybody, and welcome in with Scott Whitlock, Pete Hannity. Tigers,
according to Coach John Rittman.
Lassiter 5 for 11 on the weekend and lines into center field with a leadoff single to start things out in this championship battle. Interesting weekend, Scott, for a couple of teams that know about making Longwood in Virginia. 4-10 on the season, but again 0 for 7 on the weekend of the 0-2 pitch. Right back to Thompson. She'll go to first. Didn't even look at second. Runner moves up, so Lassiter stands there with one away.
Ahead in the count 0-2. She needs to be really careful with this team.
Right field. Lindsey Garcia putting it away for out number 2.
Ball was hit firm, but right at Garcia.
Home plate umpire John West, who Friday he did the game between Clemson and Ole Miss, and we had many delayed strike calls. Rolled to second, scooped up by Moore, and Ole Miss strands a runner after the leadoff single.
But she must have something on the ball because they're starting her against Clemson here this afternoon, and she gets the easy ground out to third base to start the game.
Mayaca City, Florida, and looks like it caught her, and it did.
Oh, and on a cold day, that got her right in the ribs, I think, or right below the ribs. But I don't know if she's hurt, but I guarantee.
Talk to Furbush, having just hit Clark, maybe Furbush a little bit rattled by that, and you're facing one of the best hitters in the country, so she's trying to get her to settle down. And to third, second out there, on to first, too late. A little bit of a hesitation by Rump and just the overall presence on the field.
She has all of the elements. They just got to let her cook.
De Leon, a hard shot, but she fields it well at second. And Nola here in Clemson during this Clemson Classic. Little number, Thompson quickly, and the flip dropped at first by Noller. We've never for Brady leading the Ole Miss team. She had one against Miami on Saturday, swing and a miss.
Yeah.
First strikeout of the game.
Interfered with by her arms, and certainly the line of vision could have been broke. So that could have been called.
Paige Smith, first baseman, left field, coming on Oda. And out number 2. At the top of the stands, basically on the facade and the press box area we're sitting, is where the clock that the players can see and the pitcher can see is located. Thompson lets it go. Shortstop Logaleo on to first. And the inning is over for a second straight frame. The Rebels playing without a visor in right field, although the sun does not seem to be the same factor there as it would in center or left. Right back to Furbush, and it's out number 1.
Nice play.
And to give you an idea, High just outside of Atlanta.
They really roll out good teams in just about every sport.
Payoff pitch. Stays low, and a 1-out walk for Aaliyah Logaleo.
The entryway to the dugout.
That's hard to do.
And yeah, and I mean, you talk about people scattering.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. First strikeout registered by Ainsley Furbush. Been a part of that, the senior, out of Longwood, Florida. Delivers 0-2. Backhanded De Leon to first. And that does it for the Tigers in the second. Shortstop Ryan Starr leads things off. 1 for 5 in the weekend, 0 for 2 against the Tigers on Friday. And Noller will tag her for out number 1 here in the third. Relief outing against Mississippi State, which the Tigers fell 3-1 for one of just 2 losses on the year. As Lassiter is now 2 for 2 in the game and a 1-out base runner. Thompson pitched just an inning last Saturday.
Yeah. A bit more on the ball with their bat. They're taking a bunt right down the road there with them. Very well.
Safe at first. So give her the hit. I was about to say 3-4 on the.
They came back and stole that game from Miami. You got to give Ole Miss all the credit in the world.
To Hanukkah, and the indication is that the Ole Miss team.
Got her 5th win yesterday in relief.
Excellent.
Or is it a 4th win?
I misspoke.
You misspoke.
Her 3rd win came against
yeah.
them. Noller, tough play, will flip to the second baseman, Moore covering. Runners move up, 2nd and 3rd now, but with.
My pitcher throws as a strike.
Right back to Cagle, on to first. And for a third straight inning, the Tigers leave Rebels on the base pass.
Now, he's doing a lot of running.
Well
He's lifting weights.
Yeah, very well conditioned.
Look at his arms. His arms are getting huge. And he's not only just working out with weights, he's using a fork very well, as I saw, too.
Payoff pitch, ball 4. And a second walk issued by Furbush. And the Tigers have been Rummel.
I'm talking to his delightful mother-in-law, Miss Judy, who's listening in from out in California.
Brown laying it down, good speed. And the sacrifice. 2-4. Tigers a runner in scoring position with just one away.
Right here.
3-0. Let's see if she has the green light. 4-pitch walk. First and second. One away, and here comes Cagle.
Well, now you're in a situation you don't really like. There's no.
Boyce was left stranded at first in the opening inning. 6 hits on Saturday in the wins against Miami and UConn. Second base, De Leon charges, only played at first. Cagle retired. Runners move up, so second and third with 2 out. Skied on the left side and out of play. Great effort by the left fielder. Let's hope that Jaden Pone is okay. She ran into that fence.
I'm gone.
Brady, the catcher, Pone, the left fielder, is trying to survive this inning. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Big one delivered. A second strikeout registered by Furbush. And the Tigers leave runners. Began the day hitting .462. She's 3 for 12 on the weekend. Make it 3 for 13. And Cagle recording her first strikeout. Lexi Brady, we saw her take that shot off her hand in the bottom half of the third. First pitch swinging. Out number 2.
Still the mother lode. But the states of Texas, Florida, and Georgia are gaining ground.
Chop to short. Logaleo, strong throw. And the Rebels, for the first time today, go in order. Middle of the fourth, we're scoreless in the Clemson.
Yeah, but their nod says value. I mean, just says so much.
2-1 the count of the Tigers' second baseman Moore. And a smash through the left side for the first hit of the game for Clemson. And a leadoff runner here in the home fourth.
Yep.
Here to lead the Clemson team in each category. Rummel the smash and diving back safely at first is Moore. What another nice play by Delaney Rummel at third and a hard shot.
That ball was
actually an early candidate for the same team in the SEC. Runner on the move, Moore, throw down, a good one. 2-6 on the putout. Second time in 6 attempts this year that Moore is caught stealing. And now, and if you hear it said like that, you usually are thinking from the batting team's perspective. There's a gapper, right center field, long run, and unable to pull it in. J.Lo Lassiter into second base with a 2-out double.
Yep.
Trying to deliver, and coming into the weekend, John Brittman saying one of the things he didn't like over the first 10 games or so was not a consistent amount of hitting with runners in scoring position. That's over the head of the right fielder, McKay, and Clemson will take the lead. Garcia comes across on the 2-out RBI double by Vieira, and just like that, Clemson does come through with a runner in scoring position.
And this ball was hit on a rail and run, and you look at that, that's hit on a laser. The right fielder had no choice but just to take off and try to run to get it back in. McKay did all she could do.
Ariel Oda.
I think you may see a pinch runner. I think you're going to see a pinch runner. It's just been found not to be nearly as effective as they once thought it was.
Gotcha. Payoff pitch. Chopped in the left side. Starr had to let the runner pass. High throw, but Smith handles. And the Tigers are retired in the fourth, but they strike first. Runners on first and second. They're eventually moved up to second and third, and a ground out by Rummel, but she was able to induce the ground out by Furbush to get out of the third inning, and she starts things out here. She's retired 6 in a row. But a 1-out base runner. And that's the first issued walk by Clemson pitching in this game.
Yeah. Cagle.
3 runs batted in their win against Miami yesterday. Chopped to short. Logaleo to second, one on to first. Safe. Just beating the throw by a step.
If a step.
So Starr
throwing hard.
Runner on the move. Ball gets away from Vieira, the catcher. the turn by Lassiter. She'll stay at second. Eighth, not that you'd make a pitching change, but just it really is an irrelevant part of something.
One of the biggest differences, we'll touch on this more as we have time. There's ball 4. In the game of baseball, the spin of the ball for a good pitcher makes the ball go beat. I mean, just cooked.
Nice stop, by the way, on a pitch in the dirt by Vieira to keep the runners in place on that last effort by Cagle. 2-2. Right back to Cagle. Able to recoup, get it on to first, and the inning is over. 2 more runners stranded by the Rebels. This one there, she might have her first double as a Tiger. The North Carolina transfer early on at her time at Clemson. 3-1 pitch and a leadoff walk here in the 5th.
Now, right now, you got to have a mentality. Absolutely. I mean, it's when you have a situation.
Ooh, off speed and a good pitch.
Yes, that was a good pitch right there.
With a strikeout. He made to have as Cagle stands in.
Yep.
But if you're Mackenzie Clark hitting ahead of her, grounder mishandled at first by Smith. Lead runner Brown will hold at second. Good job hustling. Went over Ole Miss. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded and just 1 away here in the Tigers' 5th. Lopez coming on. Getting the strikeout of Clark, but then saw Cagle reach on an error on the first baseman, and she walked Noller. Getting away, here comes the runner Brown, and the Tigers have a 2-0 lead.
It don't matter how you do it.
The bandit John Rittman will say, win them any way you have to, and here's one way.
A little bit of a wild pitch, I guess. It was well up. And Brown scored easily from third base.
Now second and third still just more, looking at a 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. Another walk in the inning. An inning of work for Riley. 5 hits and 3 runs allowed. They returned. Popped up. And batter was out automatically on the infield fly for out number 2.
Yeah, that was a very convenient.
280 hitter a year ago for Auburn.
The merry-go-round will start.
Chopper rumble at third. Across to first, throw was high. Everybody's safe. 1 runs in, a second coming around more, and 3 runs come across. But let's see if they call interference on the base, on the runner.
I think it would be on the fielder, I think.
But it looked like she was going to be able to get the out recorded.
And you can see there the base runner was in the running box. She was not. You see there she's in her lane, and then the incidental contact put her on the ground. That's where the interference was called. And what it did basically was prevent
100% over the past 2 years, the 22 and 23 seasons, playing with good help. As you said, runner on the move early on, high throw, and Johnson is safe at second with a 2-out stolen base.
It was part of the Olympic coaching staff that John Rittman was a member of, and we had a lot of time to travel with Karen. Want to wish her and her.
Reaching on walks in the inning. Skied the other way by Oda, and Pone in left for the out to retire the side. The Tigers have a big inning. Games that followed, of course, a couple decided on field goals. I've seen a lot of football games in my day. Called strike 3 is Cagle recording.
Back in the day, Georgia's home football helmet was silver. I mean, their football helmet was silver.
Yep.
Road Warrior home.
Yep. Swing and a miss. 2 up and 2 down by way of the strikeout for Cagle, who now has 4. 2-2 pitch. Shortstop Logaleo. Catcher running. Out number 3. And again, side retired in order. Second time. Leo's been at short. I think John Rittman for now is comfortable with that, but there could be some opportunities at short again for Brown. That one's chopped to Starr at short, and 1 away here in the Tigers' 6th.
And they have to pay attention when Brown's going down the baseline.
1-2 the count on Mackenzie Clark, the senior center fielder for the Tigers. Ripped left field. Pone in a few steps. Stayed up long enough for out number 2.
It was hit sharply, but right at her.
Riley trying to retire the Tigers in order for the first time. Pone back a few steps and left. And 3 up and 3 down here in the 6th inning. But Clemson the big lead as we head to the 7th. 5-0. But nonetheless, a great crew. We love working with them. They do a wonderful job. It's been a busy weekend. Everywhere you look, there was some activity going on. The liner right to the first baseman Noller for out number 1. So they've had a full plate this weekend. Play she made in right field and in the circle from a defensive standpoint. Great glove to have. Brown, the third baseman. 2 away. Tigers 1 out from claiming the championship in the 2024 Clemson Classic, and doing so. Swing and a miss, and appropriately, Valerie Cagle with a strikeout to close out Ole Miss and bring Clemson a championship.
You look right here, just that drop ball, as it did all day, just falls off the table, and the Tigers pick up the win. And there's Valerie Cagle, who had quite a weekend.
Cagle